Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and welcome back to Let's Play Resident Evil 0 HD Remaster. This is Episode 6, and last time we finally finished off the scales and opened up a new basement area. Wesker and Birkin left the game. Rebecca got attacked by a monkey and fell in a hole that we had to rescue her from. And after we finally rescued her, we found out Billy isn't such a bad guy after all.
Resident Evil 0.
So now we've opened up another part of the basement, once we turned off the steam vent, that we have to investigate. There is still evil in this place. Evil residents, you might say. Alright, so here's the hole. This is not the room where Rebecca shut off the power. She actually fell a level down into another hole that was already there. In this, place where they were digging out more basement.
Come on!
Okay.
And let's leave our ink ribbon here, because we don't really need them. Probably won't ever come back for those either. We didn't really get a good look at this room. We sort of just blasted the monkeys and ran through. Let's check the map here. Alright, so we've got a staircase that goes up to B1 from an area we can't actually see yet because we don't have a map of the basement. And you can see there's the room Rebecca went through the vent to get to, and it is connected to the hallway with the spiders by a room we haven't seen yet. We could go back there. We also have a little hallway down here, but it's locked. So let's see. Got a bit of a puzzle here, it looks like. 6 souls imprisoned within the chains of death rekindle the flames of life from the spirits of the weak. So this is kind of I guess this is kind of a classical puzzle. I mean, I've seen it in other stuff. Essentially, we have to activate these animals in the order from, weakest to strongest. My sharp wits allow me to bring down even the greatest horned beast. That's the wolf. I am the king of all I survey. No creature can escape my grasp. This is like a mountain lion or a puma. Well, puma's the same thing. Like a jaguar or something like that. You'd think this would be a lion, but whatever. I guess a mountain lion is still a lion. I creep upon my victims in legless silence and conquer even the mightiest of kings with my poison. So yeah, obviously all of these are linked to each other by, I am better than what this thing does. I stand tall on the earth with horns plainly displayed. So because this one doesn't have any mention of being better than any of the other ones, this is actually the first in the sequence. The mighty stag. So, use Billy's lighter. Light up that one first. I dance freely through the air, capturing a legless prey. Well, that one's pretty obvious. It's only one of these creatures is legless. Legolas. No amount of cunning can match the speed of my supple limbs. Alright, so we've gone full circle now. So let's go back to Wolfie here. Sharp wits allow me to bring even the greatest horned beast. Obviously, that's the stag. See her next. But no amount of the wolf's cunning can outmatch the horse's speed. So he's next. Then this one's a little bit of a jump, but no creature can escape my grasp, not even the fast, supple horse. So obviously that one's next. That one's a little bit... Again, that one's a little jump, but it doesn't make sense for any of the other ones to go there, so kind of process of elimination. And then, the king is not safe from poison. And then finally, the snake cannot escape or poison the eagle, which apparently is the strongest of creatures here. So it's a fairly simple logic puzzle. Alright, we've opened up the door, and we're going to send Billy in with his shotgun, I think.
I'll check it out.
Roger.
Got some more Molotov bottles. And hey, the first one of these we've found. Obviously that's one of the 3 tablets we need for the observatory. And that's really all that's in here. There's also another door there, but I think we'll check that one out later.
Come on.
Roger.
Where do we go next? I think what we're going to do is we're going to go through this door first. Got a bit of a plan here laid out. And by laid out, I mean I just came up with it now. Oh, wait a minute. I might have miscalculated where we are.
Roger.
You stay there for a sec, Rebecca. I gotta check this out. Yep, I forgot about the spiders. We got more spids here. Oh, I hope Rebecca doesn't try to fight them while I'm off screen. Alright, Rebecca. Nope, no, shit. That means Billy's gonna start firing a shotgun. God damn it. No, maybe not. Yeah, because you notice his aim isn't snapping here, so he won't fight these, and they won't fight us, because they're too busy eating something. However, they are actually blocking something we want. I don't want to leave him too long in case he actually does start firing, but... we don't need Rebecca down here. She's gonna actually go do something else while we're doing this. So while she's taking care of that, we're going to deal with this basement area. Alright, we got the shotgun. Should work pretty well against these plague crawlers. How did I miss that? Alright, didn't take too much damage there. And we've got a locker key. So this key right here is actually one of the only optional keys in the game. We could have just skipped this room entirely. But it is a handy thing to have. Got some more spids out here. I'm gonna try shotgunning this one. Ooh, he really just ignores that. You get poison? No, we're doing fine, alright. We're gonna kill both of them though. Again, this is just to make it a little easier here. If it was just the spiders we were dealing with, I probably wouldn't, but it's kind of the areas around them that's the consideration. This weird sort of cagey area, and the new type of grenade round that we haven't found yet. Also, you might notice there's a lot of shell casings lying around. Because we've got a little bit of an armory here. Unfortunately, none of these guns are functional. Don't even try them, Billy. Don't even try them. Even though there's at least 2 AKs there that would probably work fine with a little bit of quick tidying up. But no, we're not going to bother with them. We do at least have some bullets, which we can't pick up because Billy is full. Combine that. I'll free up a slot. And that brings us up to 30. We've got a control panel here, which if we mess around with this, changes the arrangement of the bars down there. But you can see right there, there is a shiny down there that we're going to want to get our hands on. Come on, Billy, you were a soldier. You could probably put these back together. I will say it is possible to get your hands on a submachine gun in this game, though. It's one of the unlockable weapons. And we don't have room for that. And another sneaky thing, you can just barely see it down there. Some magnum rounds. Now, we don't have a magnum on us, but it's always good to have those handy. And we've got a locked locker here. It's also one of the only keys that will not use itself. Inside the locker, we have a Duralumin case, which might seem a little troublesome because it is a locked case. But the case actually just has the numbers written on it. So 385. I think that was one of those things that fucked me over the first time I played this, and I was like, well shit, I guess I gotta find the code somewhere. And then I never did, and I looked it up, and it's like, oh yeah, the code's written on the case. Because if you don't examine it from anywhere except the dial, then you won't get the option to get that. So this is handgun parts. We can stick these on one of our two handguns, and it will make it much more likely to get a critical headshot. It also makes it fire faster. So this is a handy thing to have, and of course we're going to want to put this on Billy's old handgun because it is better for critical headshots. Okay. So we're pretty much done here until Rebecca comes down, but she's actually got some stuff to do, so let's go see what she's doing. Alright, so I had Rebecca go back to the main hall and did some inventory shuffling here. I tossed her old pistol in a different room, along with one full healing item that we grabbed on the way back. Put all the fire stuff over there, well, the Molotov and the gas and bottles if we had them. Healing stuff and ink ribbons over here. Drop this right in the middle, the key item, and then weapon stuff over here. Just to kind of clean up the hall a bit. So before we go back, because Rebecca actually came here to rearm, we're going to head down to that basement room we unlocked. Which might turn out to be a bad idea, because we don't have a lot of pistol bullets. Billy has a bunch of them, but I forgot to give them to Rebecca. Well, I guess I didn't forget. He got them after she already went back. Alright. Got a zombie in here, and one that thinks he's being sneaky. Let's deal with the mobile one first. Oh, that was a close grab. He's still up, I think. It's hard to tell because he fell behind the table. Now it looks like he's down. Down for the count. Let's grab this gasoline. Gasoline. We don't have a lot of these zombies in Zero, but there is a lot of them in the old Resident Evil games. You can see his head sort of following us. He's pretending to be dead. Just waiting to nibble our ankles. On the upshot, a lot of pistol bullets. Which will actually come in more handy once we slap on that scope. Make our pistol tactical. What even happened to all this stuff? It's hard to tell if it was destroyed or just being maintained. Alright, well, we don't actually need to bother with this guy at all. We could just stomp on his head, but it would be a little bit of damage we're taking for no reason. Also, there's a perfectly good Molotov bottle there, but we can't use that. And I believe this just leads back to, yeah, the torture room. No reason to go back in there, and there's a monkey in there, so doubly no reason to go back in there. We could also grab the green and blue herbs in the room just after this hallway, but again, there's a monkey in there too that we sort of ran past. And it would probably require us to use the green herb after getting hit by the monkey if we went through there, so It's kind of a null sum. Alright, so what I did send Rebecca back here to get is the grenade launcher. Which, as you can probably assume, means there's some trouble on the horizon. I'm gonna leave the shotgun ammo. Actually, I could bring that and just give it to Billy. It doesn't really count as it taking up space. But we also want space to grab that magnum ammo. Though, once we slap on that scope, that'll free up a spot as well. Can I just combine this without having to... Okay. Getting a lot of gas, but we don't really have a lot of bottles. I think there's a few that I just sort of left behind. So, we got that grenade launcher, and now we're going to head all the way back down there. So let's reconvene with Billy and do some item trading here. Give him the shotgun shells. Oh, he doesn't have any shotgun shells. Let's just take the pistol ammo back then. And we'll take this, combine the pistol stacks, and slap the scope on this. And suddenly we got a fancy scoped pistol. Okay, so that frees up a slot. We're gonna have Billy grab... Oh yeah, there's more shotgun ammo here too. This magnum ammo. Unfortunately, if you look at it, it's only one bullet. Kind of makes it sound like you can use it in a handgun there, but obviously you can't. Okay, so we're going to need both people for this puzzle as well. So since Rebecca has the grenade launcher... Actually, it might be smarter to send Billy here. For some reason, I always use Rebecca for this part, even though Billy is more effective with the grenade launcher, can fire it faster. Let's swap it out this time. Last time I did that was actually because of the health. Billy didn't have health, so I had to use Rebecca, and didn't have any healing items. But, let's do it with Billy this time. I think he's probably better suited. Not that we'll get in any fights or anything, right? Alright, so first things first, let's pick up these acid rounds. Just like in most of the other Resident Evil, acid rounds are the most powerful type of grenade you can get, aside from some special rounds like the anti-BOW gas rounds from RE2. Okay, we got those loaded up. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I meant to hit center. So clearly this room has also seen some better times considering the number of bullet holes and shell casings everywhere. So I think it's a little safe to assume there might be something nasty down there. We're trying to get to this button so we can get that shiny we saw. There are two paths through here, but only one of them has the acid rounds. And we can't even examine that.
Battle sequence initiated. Locking door.
Oh boy. It's a old Resident Evil staple enemy. The Hunter Alphas, which are a fucking pain in the ass. Oh Jesus. It's already begun. Come on, Billy. You just need to get a couple steps away.
door.
So that only put us in a yellow caution. That would have fucked Rebecca up pretty bad. Put her into orange or red. But that is the first appearance of the Hunter Alphas. We will be seeing a few more of them, but not too many. They're not nearly as prevalent as they are in the Arclay Mansion. And acid rounds take real good care of them. Another thing that you might not have really seen there, but it would have been easier to see if they were a little further up, is enemies don't seem to really have invincibility frames in this. Damage will sort of stack. In other games, you know, when the enemies are getting back up, they have a couple iframes that'll prevent you from just hitting them again. Here, as soon as I fired those 2 acid rounds, it would have killed one of them. Even though they do sort of a stagger animation the first time you hit them, it would sort of queue up another stagger animation afterwards, and that's why they both died so easily after I got away from them. And we're not forgetting anything up there, so
Roger.
let's just take Rebecca with us. And hope she doesn't get hit by the spider. Come on, Rebecca. No time for trouble. I could set her to not attack. Come on, Rebecca. Come on. You fucking... God damn it. Are you coming at least? Okay, she's not poisoned. For optimal efficiency, I should have switched to them one at a time, but whatever. We're in a good spot right now. So, from that hunter cage, we picked up a blue key, similar to the fire key we found. There's actually only one water door in the game. I wish I could remember if there's a key to switch her to not attack, instead of having to open that menu up. Because there's a zombie behind this door, and I just kind of want her to run past it, but I don't think she will. Or shoot it, Rebecca. Make up your mind. That was a huge waste of an acid round, but that's fine. We have some extra. Usually I tend to miss 1 or 2 shots on the hunters because they like to jump out of the way. So how are we doing here? I don't know why I brought the grenade rounds with us. Actually, that's because we picked up the acid rounds. That's the reason I did that. Let us drop that, and oop, that's not what I meant. Drop the magnum rounds as well, and I'm gonna pick up the incendiary rounds and swap them out for the acid rounds. Oh, you can't. For some reason, you can't combine reload like that. You have to actually open up the menu. And then we'll drop the acid rounds here as well. This is the most fun part. Inventory management. Doesn't really have the satisfaction of Resident Evil 4's inventory Tetris, though. Yeah, I think that's good. Really? I can't leave any more already? Oh boy. Okay. Billy's got the key, so that's gonna go away and free up a slot. So let's take a healing item with us. Again, there's not really a reason for this on the PC version. You should be perfectly capable of the game keeping track of all these items. But it seems like just a limitation that they maybe forgot to use, or it's an intentional difficulty thing, but it doesn't really change anything. I don't know. Where was the water door? I think it's in the hallway that leads to the library? No, okay, it's in the plague crawler room where the grenade launcher was. I was mixing up the blue and red doors again. Yeah, so this is where I left the pistol and the other full health. As there's going to be a real fun part where we have to transfer our entire inventory from the main hall to the observatory.
I'll check it out.
Roger.
So you've got a whole nother area, pretty much the last part of the training facility we haven't seen yet. So there's going to be some trouble here. Leechman. Shit. That should have only taken 3 shots. But you can see why I wanted to bring the incendiary rounds instead of trying to awkwardly throw Molotovs while he's trying to gribble grab you. I think it leaves us a bit of trouble. So it means if we run into another one, we don't have enough rounds to take it down, and Billy doesn't have another weapon right now. I guess we found the employee rec room, the piano bar. So you got a piano, we've got a shifty looking bit of wall, and that's really it. You think of all places that we'd find bottles, there'd be one in the bar. Considering our next move here, I think we're gonna go grab those Molotovs, because, you know, we might need them now that we don't have enough incendiary ammo. I keep calling incendiary ammo, but I guess they're napalm grenades in this one. Alright, so we got those Molotovs. I'm gonna hand Billy a couple of those and have Rebecca hang on to the rest. And we'll send Rebecca to the next area. Kind of a suspicious looking room. I mean, that doesn't really look too much like a human skull, a little too long, but maybe this is some sort of monstrosity that has been taken apart. You can also see these kind of hidden herbs down here. Herbs. Ebs. Red and green herbs. As well as a first aid spray, so that kind of tops us up for healing items again. And I guess that's really all that's in here. Still, healing items are always welcome. Do I want to grab... I don't really want to grab another one just because we don't have the space. I'll pick it up just so it marks on the map that it's there. Maybe I'll come back for it. The game wants to be tricky and put a leech man here. Let's move before he grabs us and throw another one. Guess we'll use that healing item we just made. There's another door there, but we want to go back for a second, actually. Now, in Resident Evil 1, or Resident Evil Remake, I guess, there is a puzzle where playing the piano opens up a wall panel, a shifty-looking wall panel, that has a hidden important item behind it. And, since Chris is not very good at the piano, Rebecca is the one that ends up having to solve it in his part of the campaign. So clearly, Rebecca should be able to open up this panel as well. Unfortunately, even in Resident Evil 1, Rebecca needed to practice for a while before she could play Moonlight Sonata well enough to get the door to open. So maybe Billy's a little bit better at piano than Rebecca. I think that's a nice little kind of nod to the first game, though, and it's like, hey, you thought Rebecca could do it? Not this time. There's one more room back here that we haven't investigated yet, the broadcast room. As you'd expect, there's a whole lot of film and tapes in here. And another leech man, goddammit. What? His arm hit me after it had already retracted. So again, that should have only taken one Molotov, but... one Molotov plus the grenade ammo, but again, it didn't for some reason. Leech men can be a little tricky. But hey, look! It's that place where Wesker and Birkin were up until recently. Which is presumably the reason why there's a leech man in here. Mr. Castlevania probably sent the leech man here to go after Wesker and Birkin before they left. And the only reason to come in here is for this. The vice handle. So, Rebecca couldn't play the piano good enough, but how about Billy? Is there a soft side behind this tough convict soldier? Still sounds a little off to my untrained ear, but It's good enough for the puzzle. I wonder how exactly you build a mechanical setup that will detect if a song is being played correctly instead of almost correctly. We got ourselves an astro battery, and we know where we can use that. But just like the puzzle in the Arclay Mansion, taking the battery causes the door to close. Unlike the Arclay Mansion, you don't swap out an item to keep that from happening, you actually just play the piano again. I feel like it's kind of a shame there isn't more inter-character dialogue, considering this is a game where you always have two people. Like, you'd be like, oh, I didn't think you'd play the piano, Billy. Yeah, soft side, refined. Get some more magnum ammo. And I believe we have some more bottles here. None of these bottles, though. These are still fine vintages. Can't take those. I would say let's switch back to the grenade launcher, but that's not really much more useful. So we've got most of this, but there is still one more room to deal with.
This way.
Roger.
Let's split up.
Roger.
Come on.
Roger.
Rebecca, no, don't shoot those. I'm pretty sure that killing the leechman with fire is supposed to prevent the room from filling with leeches, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, this is going to be a problem. This room has some zombies in it, so we're going to need to use Rebecca. I meant to leave Billy in the hallway, but for some reason the lead just came back. So let's unequip that, so he shouldn't try to attack them. And then, hopefully, we can use Rebecca to kill them all. You can see the pistol fires much faster now. Making zombies fairly trivial to deal with. Even more shotgun ammo. Getting a nice little stock built up again. As well as a vice. We did find this vice handle. Oops. Probably should have just used it. And that nets us our second tablet out of the 3 we need for the observatory. Getting us that much closer to finally getting out of this training facility. Hopefully when we get outside there won't be a giant man-eating plant inhabiting the building. I imagine those leeches are probably very satisfying to step on. They probably pop like really gooey eyeballs. But they might be firm enough that you can step on them and slip instead of actually crushing them. So we need to use that battery, so let's go back to the main hall. But I think we'll call it for this episode, because we've been running a little long. But again, we've made some pretty good progress, and next time, we should finally get to a new area. I mean, you certainly didn't think the training facility would be the only other area after the train. This has been episode 6 of Let's Play Resident Evil 0 HD Remaster. I'm Shadefyre, this is Rebecca and Billy, and I'll see you all next time. Until then, you folks all take care. So there was one more room in the basement that we didn't actually go through, and this one isn't so much a mistake as it is a not efficient way to go. This room's full of zombies, but there is also a note in here. The reason this is a mistake, I suppose, is because there's no reason to go in here, and it requires you to use ammo and potentially health. I do kind of wonder if this box is supposed to be a nudge-nudge reference to the item boxes, though, where you'd store your gadgets and gizmos. But the main reason to come in here is just this note, which isn't really worth using up ammo on in a main playthrough. So that's Zero's much less memorable version of 4 Itchy Tasty. And that's the only thing you get out of this room, is a little bit of flavor. So that's why it goes under the mistakes category for this playthrough. It's not really worth the ammo just to kill those 2 zombies for a note. But I thought we'd show it off, so we get the full experience. Anyhow, that's it for this mistake.